Well, to be completely honest, I never have really liked the shifter in these cars. Granted, it's pretty cool because it's something different, you know, and got that nice grip on there. I mean, it does feel pretty good in the hand, but for some reason, I just don't really like it. I can't get used to it. I guess I had, you know, a shorter throw in the ball knob shifter for so long in the Mustang that's just kind of what I got used to. So went online and found some Mopar parts to kind of get this thing fixed up. Check this out. Probably seen these before, but this is obviously a Mopar genuine part, and it's got a nice ball on there like I'm used to, and it's supposed to be a shorter throw. It's heavy, so it's nice and weighted, and you can take this ball off if you want to, and you can replace this with all kinds of different handles, whereas this one is just made onto the shaft. You can't really do anything with it. But this Mopar one here, you can apparently take this off and you can put whatever you want to on there. So I'm going to replace this with this one today. One of these days, when I have a whole bunch of money laying around, I might buy one of those fancy Barton shifters and put in here, because that would be pretty cool. But for now, I'm hoping that this will appease me for summertime. So first thing I got to do is pull this trim up so I can unbolt this one and get it out of here. Now, this is my third Challenger. The other two were automatics. So I have never had a 6-speed manual Challenger until now, and so I don't know how this comes apart. But I'm going to assume that it's like most vehicles and everything is just snapped together here. Bunch of plastic. So I'm going to try and get in here with a plastic trim removal tool. Yeah, something's moving down here. Yeah, I think something did come loose. Ah, there we go. That side's loose anyway. Don't want to use a screwdriver on this because I don't want to mar this plastic down here. This side over here, the driver's side, is being a little bit more difficult, to say the least. But I got that side loose, so I know that's how it works now. Starting to go. There we go. Goodness gracious. Why does this have to be so difficult? All right. Now, looks like a 12. What do I have here? I said 12 and then I grabbed a 14. Well, we were both wrong. It's a 13. There we go. 13, and there's not enough room in there for an extension, so. Try to crack this thing loose. Might be easier said than done. Oh, goodness gracious. Not too bad. It was tight, but once you crack it loose, it's not too bad. So there's a couple of 13mm bolts in here. While that one's still in, I'm going to go ahead and try to crack this bottom one loose. Good grief. They were both pretty snug. I guess you want them to be snug, because if the shifter comes off in your hand while you're going down the road, that wouldn't be good, would it? Alright, so there's that one. See if I can get this one by hand. Sure I can. Alright, boys and girls. Now, just lift this right up out of here. There we go. Now we'll go over to the workbench and take a look at this plastic. I don't even know what you want to call that. grommet or whatever. So herein lies the problem on this project. You've got this plastic collar, grommet, whatever you want to call this thing here, that secures your nice boot around the shifter handle, right? Well, that thing is made onto the shaft. And so as I put the screwdriver in here, you can see, I mean, it's just, this is all connected to one another. It's just one big conglomeration here. So in order to get this boot off of here, it looks like we're going to have to break this or cut it or something to get that off of there, because I can't see any way to actually remove it so that it can be reused. Might do a little research here real quick and just make sure that nobody has found a way to remove this and maybe be able to reuse it. But to me, it doesn't look like that you can reuse that. So I'm going to have to break this off so that I can take the boot off and put it on the new shifter. And then I think what has to be done is the boot is then just secured to the new shaft with a zip tie. Kind of chintzy, but once it's in the car, you'll never see it, and it works just the same, right? So let me work on getting this thing off of here and swap it over to the new shifter handle, and then we'll go put it in the car. Pretty easy job overall, but this is probably going to be the most time-consuming part, I think, right here. There we go. Now you can see that plastic collar a little better. All right, so I got that one off. So you'll notice on your new Mopar shift handle that there is a neck on this thing right here. I think they actually call it a ferrule. It's a technical name for it. So what you're going to do is you're going to put this included zip tie around there. That's where it goes, is right in there. So I'm going to slide this in here the way that it's supposed to go, roughly like that. And then when you turn it over, you'll feel where that neck is in there. That's that groove in there that I was just talking about. And that is where, like I said, you're going to put your zip tie. So it's kind of hard. One of those things would be easier to do if you had extra sets of hands. Let me see if I can get this thing started first, maybe, and then I'll slide it on there and zip it down. All right, let's try this again now. Try to hold this up in here. It's really not the easiest thing in the world to do. But I think it's, all right, I think it's where it needs to be now. Go ahead and start pulling it down tight. It's kind of surprising that a factory part would be designed like this to use a daggone tie strap. But nevertheless, that's the way it's designed. So then when you push it back up out of here, you can see how when it's in the car, it'll end up looking pretty nice. I need to fiddle with this zip tie just a little bit more and then cut off the excess, and then we'll stick it back in the car here in just a moment. The lighting has been terrible, sorry, but that's what it looks like. All right, so now we can come back to the car, and I'm just now realizing that I got this thing totally backwards, but it's okay because this will spin. There we go. My zip tie's still on there good. All right, that's the way it's supposed to go. All right, so I'm going to push this up out of the way. Slide this back down in there. And I know it's hard to see on the camera, but this shaft literally just slides right down in to where it's supposed to be here. Try to move this boot on out of the way a little farther. There we go. Just like that. You probably heard it slide right in there, so fantastic. These are the existing bolts that were already in the car. I'll just get them started by hand. Now, I've seen videos of the Barton shifter installation. Some guys will say it's not a big deal. I've been around shifters many, many times before, and when I watch those videos, to me, it looks like a big deal. It looks like a really big deal. But one of these days, like I said, I may try to do that upgrade. For now, this will hold me. This was only a little over $100, and heck, I might like it so much that I don't change it. All right, so I'm going to try and crank on these pretty good. Because like I said, they were pretty tight out of the factory, but I would imagine that they don't need to be super tight. I'm thinking that will work. Obviously, all we have to do now is slide this back down in here, snap it back into place, try to get this. What may help is to pull it out of gear, kind of wiggle it around. There we go, just like that. Try to get these to snap back down into place, which they do not seem to be wanting to do right now. I'm sure that it's user error. There we go. Goodness gracious, some of these are just, there we go. All right, there we go. Installed. It looks really nice. Let me get the camera over here. There we go. Look how nice that looks. It is a shorter throw, I can tell, because the factory pistol grip was like up about right here. So they claim that this is an inch shorter, which will drastically reduce the throw. But yeah, see, to me, that just feels so much more natural. It really does. So there you go. I'm going to really love this nice little mod here. I'll drive on this for a while and see how I like it. But like I said, this may end up being all that I want, because I don't drag race this car very much. So good to go. Now, there's one more thing left that I want to do, and that is going to happen this week. And that is I'm going to put some new tires on this thing. So these are the Goodyear Eagle Sports 245/45 R20. From what I understand, these were the factory tires that came on these cars. So this is not the original tire. They've probably been replaced once, because the car has 75,000 miles on it. So I'm sure these tires have been replaced once, and it looks like obviously the previous owner just had the same factory tire put back on it. I put a tread depth gauge in here and measured the other day. They're at 5/30 seconds. I looked up on the website, and Goodyear says they're 10/30 seconds when they're brand new. So these tires are halfway worn down. So if I get the camera down here, maybe you can see there is still some tread left. I mean, they're about halfway worn, but there's still tread left, okay? So these tires shouldn't be dangerous yet. But let me tell you something. The other day, I took a trip with I was by myself, but I was going to meet a couple of buddies to get some barbecue. I was out on the interstate, it was raining, and these tires just about killed me. Straight up, no joke, not even trying to be funny. I was skating all over the road. They were hydroplaning like crazy. In all of my life, I've never had tires do that to me. I mean, these things are just terrible. Thankfully, I didn't crash the car. I had to drive 10 miles an hour under the speed limit just to hold it in the road. And it's not like I was driving through standing water. We're talking about an interstate here. So those tires have to go. So anyway, that's the next thing you'll probably see is Thursday of this week, I'm going to get these tires replaced, and I'm not going to buy Goodyears again. Got to get something on here that won't kill us when it rains this summer. So anyhow, it's going to wrap it up for now. I got to go put the tools up, and he's mowing and weed eating. So we'll go find something else to get into now. Talk to you later.